If you're a photographer or creative entrepreneur and you want 2025 to look different than maybe your 2024 looked or your 2023 looked, in this video, I'll be talking about what you can do now to set up your year for success. But here is what the first step needs to be before you do anything else. This is part one of a series on goal setting for photographers and creative entrepreneurs. So if you're wanting your 2025 to look different, to set some goals, to make some changes, to not repeat yet another year of goals that you set but you never accomplish, here's the first thing that you're going to need to do, or you set any goals before you put any pen to paper, is to look back on what happened in 2024. So this is the time to grab some pen and paper, pull out your phone, take some notes, and think back to 2024. I know we're only a couple days into the new year, but look back at 2024 and list out all of your wins, whether they're big wins, small wins, in between, anything of that sort. Take a inventory of everything that went well, whether it was something in your business or it was something in your personal life, and think about what worked in 2024. So personally for me, I set some personal goals to walk 10,000 steps a day for 100 days, and that was something that I did meet. And then I've been doing Duolingo, learning Italian, and reviewing French. And I actually just hit 2 years of that at the end of December. I also read 35 books. I never knew how people read so many books in a year, but then I became that person between a combination of audiobooks and Kindle books, as well as physical books. And then one of our goals for my husband and I was to go to an all-inclusive resort, which we did back in April. We celebrated our wedding anniversary, and we did absolutely nothing for 4 or 5 days, and it was wonderful and great. And then when it comes to the business side of things for me, of things that went well in 2024, I hit my client goal at the beginning of the year. I set a number of clients that I wanted to book, and honestly, I wasn't really sure if I was going to hit it. And when I did, like halfway through the year, I was shocked. And then it was actually my highest revenue year since I've been in business, and I've been in business for a while now. And so that was very exciting. It was a number that I've been trying to hit for a long time. And then I started a YouTube channel, which is you're here, you're watching. And then I sold my highest package for my brand photography services, which I had recently, or in 2024, I raised my prices. And so even as a seasoned photographer, raising your prices can feel really overwhelming, or can feel like, well, who's going to pay me that money? But I booked someone at my new highest rate, which was awesome. And then I also built my first funnel. So I've had like freebies and opt-ins and stuff, but I've never really had a funnel that takes somebody through step by step to like a tripwire and sales page and all that. It's for a small digital product. So that's very exciting to finally have that, to finally get that done. And overall, I just by starting this YouTube channel, I got a lot more comfortable speaking to the camera, looking into the camera lens. So I attribute getting more comfortable talking to the camera to starting a YouTube channel, as well as using the stories feature on Instagram to just talk to the camera and kind of pretend that you're talking to just one person. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So that was like a rundown of my 2024 in a nutshell. A little bit of personal, a little bit of business. So I would recommend that you grab a piece of paper and think about your 2024. What went well? Did you hit any goals that you set for yourself? Did you do something that you didn't expect you were going to do? Did you meet a revenue goal? Did you start your business? Did you hit a fitness goal? Whatever the case may be, celebrate all of those wins, big or small, And then in step number 2, so part 2 of the pre-goal setting process. So you're going to want to do these 2 things first before you set a goal at all. So part 2 is to, same thing, take a look at 2024 and what were the lessons that you learned, or said in a different way, what were the things that didn't work? Because it's helpful to review the things that didn't work, just as it is helpful to celebrate the wins of all the things that did work. So what didn't work in 2024? What are some things that you learned? What could you change to make it different in 2025? Are there things that you want to continue doing, or are there things that you no longer serve you, and so in 2025 you're not going to do those things anymore? So for me, the things that didn't really work that go business wise were that, so I wanted to do mini sessions, and they were okay. I didn't sell them out like I was hoping to. I didn't book so as many as I wanted to, and so I think that going forward in 2025, if I do them, they're going to be on a really specific, limited basis. So I actually launched a blogging and SEO course for photographers in the spring of 2024. And so one of the things that I learned is that I needed a longer runway, and to just kind of when you're doing a live launch, you need more time to warm up the people who might be joining your program or might be interested in your program, so they can get to know me better, get to know the course creator better. And then one of the things that I'm used to working from, but would probably serve me better if I, did what I said I'm going to do, is to work from a plan instead of working from the seat of my pants. So when it comes to things like posting on Instagram, I really have a hard time working from a planned out calendar. I could plan out a calendar, but then when a day comes to actually post a thing, most times I don't want to post the thing that's in the calendar. I'll just end up posting something that strikes me that day, or I get inspired that day in that moment. And sticking to a calendar doesn't always work, and that's okay. So finding what works for you is what matters here. So maybe working from a plan, working from a set chiseled in stone plan doesn't really work for me. As you're thinking about these things, what are the lessons you've learned in 2024? What did you learn? What didn't go the way you hoped? And what will you do differently in 2025? So these are some things to think about, to reflect on before you set your goals for 2025. This is the first in a series of goal setting for photographers and creative entrepreneurs, because I know we all kind of operate off of the same, I want to be creative, I don't want to be stuck in a box, but at the same time I have goals and there's things I want to do. Be sure to join me next time. Hit the subscribe button or hit the alert button, hit whatever, bells and whistles and whatever, if you want to know about the second part of the series coming very soon.